Happy Monday, Saints fans. Welcome into another edition of Saints Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Trace Gerard. I got my guy, producer Seeps, running shotgun with me, so you know it's about to be a great show. So we're going to be breaking down some Saints news, which I'm about to give my thoughts on, as well as explore a free agent target that I think the Saints should sign, and an interesting trade idea that I think that you guys would like. But for the Saints news, Cesar Ruiz, his fifth-year option, is not getting picked up by New Orleans, and I'm going to share my thoughts here in just 1 second. But before that, Bryan Bresee is the newest member of the New Orleans Saints at the number 29th overall pick in this year's draft. So help us support Bryan Bresee, help us support the Saints, and go get iced out, get swagged out, and get the freshest jerseys on this side of the Mississippi. Bryan Bresee jerseys are available at chatsports.com/SaintsBresee. Now, he's not going to be wearing number 1. It's just a placeholder picture. Whenever you order your jersey, you will receive whatever number he ends up rocking in the black and gold. So get geared up. Chatsports.com/SaintsBresee. I'll have the link in the comment section and description of today's video. So why I like the move of not picking up the fifth-year option for Cesar Ruiz. So obviously he was a first-round pick. He was the 24th overall pick in the 2020 draft for the Saints. And he would cost you more than $14 million in 2024. Things haven't necessarily panned out and lived up to the expectations of a first-round pick for Cesar Ruiz, and he is still recovering from foot surgery. He did, however, have a promising year in 2022. And he had some promising seasons. We spent a lot less time talking about him and saying, oh my gosh, another sacker. What's going on, Cesar Ruiz? Why is this happening? So he showed a lot of progress and he showed steps in the right direction. So maybe things could still work out. Now he's going to be entering a contract year for New Orleans. Now, could better production be a result of that? He's going to be chasing that bag. He needs to go and put up good production if he wants to cash in this upcoming offseason, whether that's with the Saints or with another team in free agency. Cesar Ruiz needs to step it up and play very well if he wants to get paid. And at the end of the day, Mickey Loomis, they can pick up the extension later. They can go and get him later on in the season. And if he puts up numbers that are better than these, I could see that being the case. So in 2020, the PFF grade in 744 snaps, he had a 58.6 overall grade, a 43.4 pass rush grade, 61.6 run block grade, and 0 sacks allowed, 2021 and over 1,000 snaps. We saw him quite a bit in 2021, and that's whenever I think us as Saints fans were like, this needs to be fixed. Like, this is not going to work out here. At 57.6 overall grade, a 63.8 pass rush grade, a 52.9 run block grade, and 5 sacks. And then in 2022, we saw him take some steps, and I personally was a lot more pleased with him, and I think that a lot of y'all were as well. 56.6 overall grade, 63.4 pass rush grade, 51.5 at the run block grade, and he only gave up 3 sacks. So in terms of the offensive line depth chart, this is how it looks after the UDFAs that have been signed after the NFL draft. You got Trevor Penning, Andrus Peat, Yannick Ngakoue, Cesar Ruiz, and Ryan Ramczyk running it for you as your starting offensive line. Nick Saldiveri, he is going to be a backup for Andrus Peat more than likely. That being said, he can play all over the offensive line, so I think that that's a really exciting guy to have in this depth chart, especially considering some of these vets do have injury issues. Now, Philstrom was a UDFA that got brought in to back up Yannick McCoy. I think that that's a good move, and I like it a lot, and I think that that's a smart move considering you didn't have a backup center before you brought him in. So, guys, I want you guys to help me out. We are on the road to 14,000 subs. Excuse me. I know I look tired because I still am. I got some sleep last night, but tonight is the night that I'm really going to recover from losing sleep over the NFL draft. 150 subs to go to get to 14,000 subs. I lost tons of sleep. I grinded. I was busting my butt for you guys this entire draft weekend and leading up to it. So help me out. Help out Abby Alonso and help out my guy, Producer Seeps, by subscribing to the Saints Now channel for daily Saints news, rumors, and updates. And subscribe if any of these 4 things apply to you. If you hate the Atlanta Falcons, it's 100% free. Hit that red sub button and type F Atlanta in the comment section. If you want daily Saints videos, if you want news, rumors, updates, interactive content that's entertaining but also informative, you got to hit the sub button. And You want to know why else you should hit the sub button? Because we have live shows and interactive content. We're going to be going live on Wednesday to break down more news, updates, rumors. Going to take mailbag questions from the WHO DAT Nation. And then if you bleed black and gold, I mean, if you're just a real Saints fan, if you ain't one of those fake Saints fans, if you're not a fair weather fan that comes in and just likes to scream and throw arms up in airs whenever they're playing like the Aints, but then whenever they're playing really well, they're like, oh my gosh, best team ever. No, if you're a real Saints fan, you bleed black and gold, and you're a ride or die for this team, hit that damn sub button. So let's talk about Yannick Ngakoue to New Orleans, because I still believe you can go and add to this defensive line. And it got addressed by the NFL draft pretty well. Bryan Bresee, defensive tackle out of Clemson, your first-round pick. I love the pick. He's a great fit. He's going to be a hard worker, and he's going to be a gamer. Now, Isaiah Foskey, he may not be the starting defensive end across from Cameron Jordan, but I wanted to put him up here because I feel as if at some point in the season, Foskey will start over Carl Granderson. Not taking anything away from Granderson. He's still a talented player. He has a nice ghost move, which I'm a big fan of. But I think Foskey inevitably will take over for the defensive line. And I want to bring this up. Ngakoue puts up good numbers. He's a good leader. He has been a staple piece for the defense in Indianapolis over the last 4 years. And then just this past season, he had 9.5 sacks, 16 quarterback hits, 8 tackles for a loss, and 1 forced fumble, 10 sacks in 2021, 8 sacks in 2020, 8 sacks in 2019. The guy produces in the backfield, and that's something that I really want. And another thing that I just want to stress, veteran presence is good, especially when you're trying to make a playoff run. I obviously understand the Saints. As a Saints fan, I'm sitting here saying I expect to make the playoffs this season. Or the moves that were made this offseason were great. They have added and addressed positions of need, brought in quality talent on both sides of the ball, and I think that the Saints are in the perfect position to make a postseason run, and having veteran talent is great for making a run in the playoffs and for winning down the stretch, especially in that latter half of the season where it seems like it's either that's when the team collapses, or it's just, or this past season where it was just too little too late. Obviously, the last couple games didn't go how you wanted, but I still think that bringing in a veteran would be a smart move. And I don't want to take anything away from Isaiah Foskey. I think he's going to be a great addition to this team. I think he's going to be a long-term cornerstone piece, and I truly do believe he will be the Cameron Jordan successor after he retires. I think that he's going to be that guy for the Saints defensive line next to Bryan Bresee. But I am one greedy MFer, and I want all the depth I can get. I want all the quality talent I can get. One, because I want my team to be the best it can be. And two, because I don't want any other team to have the talent that I want on my team. So what say you, WHO DAT Nation? Should the Saints go and sign Yannick Ngakoue? Type Y for yes, type N for no, and let me know. This is going to be the pinned comment, so if you get hit with the YouTube ad break, take advantage of it. Scroll on down, share your thoughts. And while you're doing that, help us out. Help us out by hitting the thumbs up icon. I want to get this video to as many Saints fans as possible. We picked up a lot of steam over the draft, bringing in over 150 new members of our WHO DAT Nation here at Saints Now by Chat Sports, but I want to reach more. Like I just said a minute ago, I am greedy, and I don't like to quit until the job is done. So I need you guys to hit the thumbs up icon, like this video, so that way more of Saints fans can find this video, and YouTube will push it out to the WHO DAT Nation even further. So let's get into my last topic on today's show, an intriguing trade target. You like LSU Tigers? They didn't go and draft one. They didn't go get B.J. Ojulari. I know a lot of Saints fans were high on him. How about you go trade for one? How about you go trade for a former LSU Tiger and Patrick Queen? Because the Ravens are not picking up his 5th-year option. And something that I believe right now is that linebacker is still a need for this team. You did not address it in the draft. I think that is a move that still needs to be made. You bring in some UDFAs. That being said, I still think a starting linebacker is a huge need because you are missing Caden Ellis. Do you really want to run with Zach Bond? Do you want him taking regular reps as a starter? Patrick Queen, 117 tackles, 9 tackles for loss. 5 sacks, 2 interceptions for the Ravens in 17 games played. And my take, as I was saying a little bit ago, I wish that the Saints would have addressed the linebacker position in the 2023 NFL draft. But at the end of the day, we ride. We ride. This team is going to be fine. This team is going to be okay. You still have a lot of talented players on the defense. You have Demario Davis. Yeah, he's getting up there in age, but he's like a fine wine, and he just keeps playing all right. Pete Werner, he's a great player when he's healthy. He just has to stay healthy. Zach Bond, it hasn't really worked out for him. Now, you did bring in Ty Summers in free agency. You brought in Anthony Orji out of Vanderbilt as a UDFA. Andrew Dowell is going to be back. DeMarco Jackson also back. He was a draft pick from last year. And then you also brought in Anderson as a UDFA. So when you're looking at this depth chart, I just think that it could be a little bit better. Like, in my eyes, I'm looking at this, and this is the same reason I brought up Yannick Ngakoue. I don't look at this depth chart and say Zach Bond is getting the Saints to a Super Bowl. I think that bringing in a guy like Patrick Queen, that could be a move that could help get the Saints to the Super Bowl. I think that Zach Bond would be fine if another player got hurt. But I don't think that he is the person that will get you to where you want to go. So, Who Dat Nation, I need you to let me know. I think that linebacker is still a pretty big need. If I had to scale it, I'd probably put it at an A. I'm going to go 82. It's not a huge need, but it's one that I would definitely address. So you need to scale it for me as well. You tell me, scale it on a scale of 1 to 100, 1 being they don't need it, they're 100% fine, I don't care. 100 meaning you got to go sign one tomorrow or go trade for one tomorrow. Who Dat Nation, we got plenty of good content coming to you the rest of the week. We're going to be bringing down some more draft, post-draft analysis, some free agent targets to go and sign, as well as a hell of a lot more fun content. Be sure to subscribe, lock us in, hit the thumbs up icon, and y'all stay golden. We'll catch you next time.